Royal Lions, and welcome into Around the Diamond, everybody. Grant Wakefield joined alongside Chase Glover, and we're joined this first segment by UNA pitcher Gavin Oswald. And Gavin, thanks for joining us today.
Of course, thank you guys for having me.
We're going to be diving into some UNA baseball and softball today as well. But Gavin, let's get started. Just kind of wrap up these last few games, a sweep of Austin Peay and then a dominant win over UT Martin last night. What's the feeling like being around the team?
Oh, the vibes are super high right now. Like, guys are fired up to get to the field every day. And we show up right now with the expectation to win. You know, we expect to play to the best of our abilities, take it two guys, and when we're a confident team, we're hard to stop. So now that we're confident, everybody's having fun, people are doing what they know they can do, and it's a whole lot of fun.
Now, right before we jumped on, you just told me the bus broke down on the way up to Martin, Tennessee yesterday, broke down, but then you guys still put up 21 runs. How do you guys stay mentally focused after that happening and then going up and winning a midweek?
I mean, when that happens, you kind of have two options. You can say, oh, my God, woe is me, we're stuck on the side of the road, there's no service, or you can be like, hey, it's part of the story.
Yeah.
It's part of the story, and now if we go in and win, this is a really cool story. This is a really cool Tuesday where, bus broke down, we get the shirts off on the bus because everybody's hot, and we get to go take a win. Get a win. That's just how it is, and we decided the latter, and we're like, hey, this is part of the story. Let's go get a win now.
Okay.
And big wins over these last four ball games as well. Like we mentioned, the sweep of Austin Peay, and then last night as well. But it's kind of been fueled as a full team effort, both the pitching staff and the offenses. What's been clicking for this team here lately?
A lot of resiliency. So as a pitcher, I see it when I'm not throwing. When the offense puts up a zero, they have a rough inning. Pitching staff goes up immediately, puts up a zero. Let's say the pitching staff gives up a couple runs. The offense is like, hey, we got your back. They pick them up right away. So each side of the ball having the confidence that the other one will pick them up allows them to just play freely, and the next thing you know, we're up big, and pitching staff's rolling.
Yeah, talking about that, you guys got down yesterday 3-2 after the first inning, but then your pitching staff came out 6 scoreless innings between Stogner, Boynar, and I'm forgetting a couple, I believe. But just how about those guys just going out and just absolutely pitching a masterclass in the midweek?
Oh, it was awesome. Like you said, the bus broke down. There were a lot of excuses. You could have come out and said, oh, it's a Tuesday, it's a longer bus ride for a midweek. Our bus broke down. I don't have to be as mentally focused because we're up big, but those guys went in and they pounded the zone. One of Coach Prack's messages yesterday was, always staying on the attack, always feeling like it's a 3-3 game, and those guys did an excellent job of that.
Right.
And let's kind of walk back to the Austin Peay weekend as well. One where Friday night you guys get down and kind of like you were just mentioning, rally back as well, and then the offense really gets going on Saturday and Sunday. But just walk us through, and let's start with Friday. What was kind of the message for the team as you guys got down, but then rally back to get the Friday night win?
The whole thing, the whole weekend was like, don't budge. We knew going into there that it's a tough place to play. We knew that there were going to be punches thrown, and if we responded and didn't break, we were going to be fine. We knew who we were going into that. We knew we had prepared well. The coaches prepared as well. And if we didn't break and just kept on going, we were going to be fine. And that's what we did and came out with 3 wins.
Yeah, and talking about the Austin Peay weekend a little bit, let's hone in on you some. You had 8 strikeouts, the most as a Lion so far in that Friday night win for you. That's your 5th of the season. I kind of saw on ESPN just a little bit of swag from you, a little shoulder throw, a little just some swag on the mound. How did you feel during that game when you came out?
I felt great. Going into that, it was a big moment, first and third. I believe the tying run was on first or at the dish, one of the two. It got that strikeout, and then I kind of got punched in the mouth. They hit a home run that first batter the next inning, and then it was just I just dialed in from there. It was like, all right, you got your one, and that's going to be the only one you get. That's how I kind of felt. And sometimes you give up a pump, and you're like, oh boy, especially at a park that's kind of shorter. But in that moment, I was like, all right, you got your one. Congratulations. Yeah. And then I just kind of locked in, and once I made some pitches that normally I'm not super comfortable making, and I executed them, I was like, okay, now we can roll. And we were good from there.
Yeah.
And rolling off of 2 big appearances you had against Central Arkansas as well. But take us through, what's the mentality when Coach Brackniak calls your number out of the bullpen? What's the mentality kind of in your mind?
Oh, just go right at guys. Like, just trust my stuff. I've been working on new pitches and stuff, so knowing that I have that 4-pitch mix, and it's going to be tough as long as I get it in the zone and execute the call, that I trust what Coach JJ is doing and his off time with the scouting and all the reports he's got over. So see the pitch, all right, cool. Now I just have to worry about executing. Just execute pitches, go right at guys, and be fearless.
Now, you were named one of 3 captains this year alongside Petey Kraska, Charlie Cochran. How do you set the tone coming out of the bullpen each and every game? Well, not each and every game, but whenever you come out of the pen, you're just setting that tone for the team.
Yeah, I kind of take the responsibility to be like, all right, now it's my job to put up zeros and give the offense like some comfort, and then they can roll. And like especially, let's say I come out on a Friday night, like picking up Justice or whoever started on Friday, and just rolling from there. And once that offense, like I talked about, executing pitches and just going right at guys, once I set that tone, the pitching staff's like, all right, if he can do it, we can all do it.
Right.
That's kind of what they may not think that way, but that's how I think in my mind. Like, hey,
Right.
I'm just setting the tone and setting an example for the rest of the weekend.
Yeah. And I'll ask this as well one more time. On Friday, you got the win against Austin Peay. Saturday starter for Austin Peay was your former teammate from Mineral Area College, I found, because I was trying to look up your career strikeouts, but I found Riker Walton. You guys used to go at it or go together when you guys were in Mineral Area. How did that feel after Friday getting that win, but then also seeing your guy on Saturday before you got the second win of the series?
It's a little weird because he was at Eastern Kentucky last year, so
Right.
this is his 3rd time throwing and stuff. So it's a little weird. It's like, he was my roommate. That's one of my guys.
Okay.
He was in my wedding in October, so it's one of my guys.
Okay.
So I don't want to root for him to fail, but I kind of have to.
Right.
Like when he gives up some runs, I'm like, oh, well, I wish they would have taken him out before this, so I didn't have to celebrate him giving up runs. But at the same time, like the Lions are rolling, so I'm fired up. So I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah.
Let's talk about some of the offense. We've mentioned it all morning long, but talk about Dylan Coleman. 14 homers, that ties one shy of the Division I record, right, Chase?
Mm-hmm.
One shy of the Division I record. He has been raking here as of late. What's it like having a guy like that in your lineup?
Oh, he comes to the plate now. I think I looked at Coach Pracker, JJ, yesterday, and I said, man, this is nice. He's going to hit a home run. This home run's awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, you just feel it before it even happens. And when a guy, he's already dangerous. He has a dangerous presence in the box. And when he comes up and we know he's hot, good things are going to happen. That's how we feel in the dugout. And when we need him, he's good. I love Dylan, and we're fired up for him.
Yeah, and over the past 4 games, you guys have been absolutely hot from the plate. You have 12 home runs over the last 4 games. What is that confidence for a pitcher knowing that your guys offensively can get you a run almost any time one of them comes up to bat?
Oh, it's awesome. I think the pitching staff will throw better when the offense is rolling because they know if I just attack guys, the offense will pick me up. So it limits walks. It limits those damaged pitches because guys just let it fly.
Right.
They know, hey, if I make a mistake here, if I try to execute this fastball in, instead of yanking it, being scared to hit him or anything like that, if I make the pitch, leave it a little middle, he hits a home run, so what? We're going to go put up 4 runs anyways. And it allows guys to execute pitches, and we're super comfortable up there. We're super confident up there, and it helps a whole lot.
Right.
All right, this weekend, Gavin, Lipscomb comes to town, a big weekend series for you guys. A bounce-back series. You've already played them once already this season. What's it going to take to come away with another series win?
Just keep doing what we've been doing. I think the same thing, like just rolling with what we have in it, 4 wins in a row now, and knowing what we didn't do last time we played them, knowing what we did do well, taking those pieces, putting them together, we'll be just fine this weekend.
And I'll ask you this as well. You're kind of getting the conference play. I don't really like to say this bug out loud, but everybody knows it now. You guys are sitting atop the Gold Division in first team in the Gold Division to get to 10 wins. Is there anything with that for you guys, or y'all tossing it to the side until the end of the season?
I mean, it's cool. It's definitely cool. Like, part of UNA going to Division I few years ago was we get to set the tone and do historic things, and that's pretty cool to do that too. But at the same time, that we can't focus on that.
Right.
At the end of the weekend, sure, you can be like, okay, these guys are sitting in second, these guys are in third, we're in first. All right, cool. But when we're playing, you can't think about that.
Yeah.
That's when bad things happen because you're jinxing yourself, and you just gotta keep playing baseball games. Then hopefully in 5 weeks from now, then you look up and we're still sitting in first. That's kind of how we're going at it, and not focusing on it, but we'll look at it here and there.
Right, so you'll probably come out of the pen this weekend, and I'll ask you, you're at 5 current wins on the season. If you don't know, you're tied currently for the Division I record with 5 wins. I believe that goes with your pitching coach, Jacob James, and also your counterpart, Trip Patterson, the Saturday starter. If you didn't know, how does that feel? And also, does that kind of push you to just go out and get as many as possible the rest of the season?
I didn't know that, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But, I mean, wins aren't necessarily my focus. Wins, as the true meaning of wins, absolutely my focus.
Right, come on.
But my personal wins, not really, because my job as a reliever is, carry on what the starter has done. They set the tone. I come in, keep doing what they've been doing, and just put my team in a position to win. If I get the win for that, that's awesome. Like, now I guess I'll break the record, so that'd be pretty cool. But I'm not going to think about that. I'm just going to think about getting the team a win, doing anything I can to give the team a win. If I come in and we're up 4, there's no way. I hope I don't get a win because that means I gave up 4.
Right.
But
Yeah.
I'm just going to put our team in a position to win.
Yeah. Love to hear it.
Well, Gavin, we appreciate the time, and should be a fun weekend out at the mic with Lipscomb this weekend. Best of luck.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate you having me.
That's pitcher Gavin Oswald. Coming up next, we talk to head coach Jad Pragniak. You're watching Around the Diamond. We'll be right back.
Welcome back in. This is Around the Diamond with Chase Glover, Grant Wakefield, and now joined by head baseball coach Jad Pragniak. Coach, glad to have you.
Thanks for having me.
Now, Coach, we just got off the horn with Gavin Oswald, and he let us know the bus broke down yesterday, and then a lot of the players took their shirts off because it was hot on the bus. So who might have been the first one off? I'm feeling a name, and I got to see if it's right.
I don't know. I don't truly remember who the first one off was. I know we had some requests to play hacky sack right when it broke down. Guys wanted to get off the bus. I feel like it was probably 15 degrees warmer on the back of the bus, so I understand, like, up front it was comfortable, and the back was probably 85 degrees. But I don't remember who led the charge off the bus.
Okay, I'm feeling. I'm gonna drop the name. I think it was Petey Kraska. He just seems like the one to take off the jersey.
It wasn't Petey.
Wasn't Petey?
Okay. He stayed back in the sauna. I think he was back there for a while.
Okay, well, Coach, you had a terrific win. It was kind of cool to paint that story from Gavin to let us know that the bus broke down, but you still go out and set 21 runs on UT Martin yesterday. Just talk to us a little bit about that
That's
game.
the winning recipe. We've struggled midweek, so we found out if the bus breaks down, that's the recipe to play better on the road.
Right.
Whatever. Sometimes you get the thing that throws you off schedule, and I know baseball can be very schedule-oriented, but I feel like guys did a good job. We had to wait, roadside for 40 minutes, but guys did a good job of resetting. And, I mean, the game, it was, with the exception of the first inning, we had a couple hiccups, but outside of that, we played literally as well as we could have. We played really well that game, and it was good to see on a Tuesday. We have not been great during the midweek.
Right.
And Gavin kind of mentioned it, but the resiliency of the team to where you go down early on in the ball game, but then you're able to rally back and put on the offensive numbers that you did. What's it speak to just the resiliency of the team, not just last night, but as the season as a whole?
Sure. I think as the year has gone, we've had those moments. We've been down by 1 run, 2 runs, 3 runs, and I think we've shown we have proof we are capable to come back. And I think yesterday was a good example of us finding our rhythm in that second inning on, and I think we did a really good job of basically playing our game. And it was even a reminder for me of just staying the course. You know what I mean? And it just because things aren't going perfect, I know what the group is capable of, and they did a really good job of just staying the course, and they were dialed in for the duration of that one.
Coach, and I'll ask you this. Looking at the lineup card yesterday, I was a little perplexed. I see Caden Sheffield in there. I'm guessing Bryant Levin's getting some rest. Will Millard was getting some rest. You got your captain, Charlie Cochran, his first start. Just talk to us about implementing and putting those guys in.
Yeah, messaging to the team. We've had a core 9 for the last few weeks.
Right.
But I do know, there are guys on our bench that can help us. And yesterday was part rest, but part kind of tapping into those skill sets and basically keeping those guys going.
Right.
So Sheffield had a big game. Charlie was great behind the plate.
Right.
He had really good at-bats. He walked 4 times.
He did.
It was, both those guys, between the two of them, they reached base 9 times, and Charlie was outstanding behind the plate. So it was good to see those guys out there, and I think it was a good rest day for those other two guys as well.
Right.
All right, let's take a step back to the Austin Peay weekend, a sweep of the Governors up there in Clarksville, and just walk us through that weekend for you guys.
Sure. As Gavin indicated, that is not an easy place to play, and they've obviously been towards the top of the league the last couple of years. So we knew in order to win up there, we were going to have to play well. I thought Friday set the tone, and similar. We fell behind 2-0, but I think guys stayed the course and kept going, and I thought we were really good on Friday. The Saturday win, I think, was more I'd say the traditional win against them. Like if we've beaten them the last couple of years, it's been back and forth. It feels like 3 games in one, and we held on at the end for a 13-12 win. And then I was really happy to see the Sunday effort. Same deal, fell behind by a few, but I thought that game was similar to Friday. We played a really complete game, and the challenge to the guys on Sunday was to stay hungry and not be content going 2-0. So you get to Sunday, and the only thing left to do from a competition standpoint is to play one more game. And I think guys did a good job of staying the course with it.
Yeah, Coach, I was going to say that's your 4th road sweep as a Division I member in the ASUN in conference play, and then that's the first time Austin Peay's been swept at home since 2023. That message you said to the guys on Saturday, how did it make you feel on Sunday after you guys finished that one out?
It was big. I just stand by, like, whatever the scenario is on the previous days, the only thing you can do is go attack the next thing.
Right.
So whether it was split or we were down 0-2, the last thing we could do was play one more game, and I think guys were dug in, and they finished the weekend on a high note for sure.
And I'll add this as well. The last 4 games now, Dylan Coleman has 5 home runs. He really seemed to surge in that Austin Peay series, and you saw it continue in the mid-league.
Yeah, it all started on this radio show last week. So we got him out here, and it's just he took off. Oswald's going to strike out 12 this weekend. It's just we're going to keep this thing going. Dylan, when Dylan is going, I mean, it is from our dugout. It is really fun to watch him go.
Right.
From the other dugout, I'm sure there's an element of you don't want to see that guy in the box.
Right.
But you guys obviously see it and follow it. Like when he hits the ball, he hits it with authority, and when he's going right, it truly is one of the most feared hitters in the country. It really is, and he's done a great job these last couple of weeks for sure.
Right.
And another guy that had a big weekend as well, Justin Santoyo. He came up with some big moments up there in Clarksville as well. Just how important has he been as an addition to this lineup?
For sure. And Justin, the numbers are climbing, as you can see. And I think early in the year, maybe the numbers weren't there, but we felt strongly he was going to get going. And just combination of things of he was hitting some balls hard, and I think just finding his rhythm. But the last month for him has been really good, and it just continues to stretch the lineup. Like when you can get that production from the 7-hole, it just really makes the lineup feel that much longer. And he had a huge weekend for us. He really did. It was stats, but it was stats in big moments and giving us leads or extending leads, whatever it might be. But he was really good this weekend.
Yeah, I'm going to continue the offensive side, and I want to highlight an unsung hero maybe. How about Leighton Jenkins in the 9-hole? Yeah. He's climbing as well offensively, statistically, and then also a big triple on Sunday. You just feel – I think he's on a hitting streak as well, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, so. I won't talk about the hitting streak. I won't put that voodoo on that.
Okay, sorry. Let me throw that one out. My bad.
But he is one of the messages to the team is, and Santoyo and LJ, Leighton were 2 of the guys mentioning, I feel like our group is going to play its best baseball May and beyond. Like I feel like that's what we're equipped to do, and that obviously starts in April, like leading up to that. But I feel like those 2 guys are almost symbols of our team where they have gotten better every week of the season. And LJ right now, he looks locked in at the plate. He's still doing his thing defensively, and he's given us a spark again. Like talk about lineup stretch when your 9-hole guys producing like that to turn it over to the top. That's when you see those big numbers show up too. The double-digit games on the offensive side, and LJ's been really good. He has been.
Right.
And you mentioned Santoyo hitting primarily in the 7th spot. Leighton Jenkins, your 9-hole hitter. How important is it to have just production like that 1 through 9 in the lineup?
It is. I mean, you can look at the stats, and there's some guys having prolific years, but I think some of the glue things right now, 7, 8, 9, and Loving at 8. When those guys are going, and Loving had some really big games at Central Arc. Game 3 was huge from him. Those guys kind of connect the lineup where it does have that almost that circular feel where they're passing it on to the next guy. And I do think the lineup right now it's in a good spot, and hopefully we can keep that thing going.
And Coach, I got to ask this as well. Production-wise, offensively, you guys are 2 home runs away from the Division I record of home runs in a season. Do you guys have that up anywhere? You guys focused on that, or?
No, that's like a byproduct. You know what
No,
I mean?
it
So
just
it's
happens.
I think we'll have 2 home runs somewhere along the way
Sure.
coming up. But I think that's a byproduct of
Right.
just what the group's doing. And
Right.
again, even the intentions, we've hit on this before. It was to hit as many doubles as possible. And obviously, if you're hitting doubles, you still have to hit it hard. But it's not. A lot of times, if you're trying to put it over the fence, that's when you're not getting your best swing.
Right.
So I don't think the approach changes to try to hit more homers. I think we just dig into what's working. I think pitch selection's been good. Guys are waiting for their pitch
Right.
to do damage. I think some of our 2-strike things lately have been really good, where guys are digging in and getting big hits with 2 strikes. So I give that group, and then Coach Patton, Coach Davis, like them a ton of credit for getting our guys set up for success.
And I want to add this as well. I just found it this morning. So, but the last time a UNA team had 2 guys with 10-plus home runs in a single season was all the way back in 2000 with the great Josh Willingham.
Wow.
How about
Gotcha.
that? Just
Yeah.
shout out to your staff and everybody.
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously that name and those teams, like those were prolific teams, and obviously, I mean, truly the best baseball player to come through here. So it's, I think it's a compliment to what guys are doing this year. And, anytime you can bring that name into the equation, you probably did something good.
A little bit.
Yeah.
So let's move from the offense to the pitching staff. They've been rolling here as of late, but talk about your different guys. Of course, Augusto, Patterson, Reese Young, your starters on the weekend, but guys like Oswald that come out of the pen in big moments.
Yeah, I think the pitching staff, in a way, is kind of feeding off the offense. One of just we're getting some run support, but also just it's that same idea of like a hitter has a good at-bat, then the next guy has a good at-bat. I think we're getting some good starts, and then the relief pitcher's ready to go to kind of piggyback off it. And then the next day there's a confidence level of, Justice gave us a good start, now I can give us a good start, and so on. And I think guys are managing game situations and days well, and even Tripp's outing on Saturday. Again, numbers-wise, it wasn't his best outing, but he got us 15 outs and whatever. He's 1 pitch away from what we would say a really good outing, but Proctor hits a home run with 2 strikes, and it gets 6 runs on the board. But just the way the ball was carrying that day, ultimately the starting pitcher, their job is to give you a chance to win. And if you get 15 outs on a day where it's really offensive, a lot of times that's going to give your offense a chance to win. So I feel like those guys are doing a good job of managing games and letting us have a chance to be on top at the end.
Yeah, you mentioned how your offense is really allowing your pitchers to settle in. I felt like I saw that with John Allen Stogner yesterday in the midweek. Got down 3-2, and then Dylan Coleman comes back out and hits another one, and it just felt like you see Stogner settle in and just roll.
It did. I think it played off each other. And I think Stog, even in the first, there were a couple tough defensive plays that we have made at times during the year, but Stog did a good job. Like, we gave up 3 runs, and I thought he threw the ball pretty well in the first inning. I think they put a 0 up. We didn't score in the second, but I thought Stogg's 0 in the bottom of the second was really big. And then we go out again and get the offense going again in the third and kind of take off from there. But I think guys are just doing a good job of kind of handling, their assignment. You know what I mean? Staying dialed into that. Don't try to do too much, and just know that we can support each other on both sides of the ball.
Right.
First place in the gold division. We ask Gavin that. Does that play a lot into your messaging to the team, or is that just kind of a number that you just go up and play the next play?
Yeah, we're not running from it. We understand to stay there. There's certain things we have to do day in and day out to stay there. But even the conference, I shared the conference tournament format with the guys. Like, they're aware, and this is not to create pressure, but essentially is if you want to win the tournament, 1, you have to make the tournament. That's obvious. But 2, it certainly rewards the team up top. So if you're in first place, you get a double bye, basically. You're in that double elimination format. If you're the 2 seed, you get 1 day off. And I just think it's important guys know that. And it's not playing fearful or whatever. It's just to stay on the attack. And it's, not running from the success, but understanding, for us to stay there, we're going to have to earn it.
Right.
That's the messaging to the team.
And to stay there, Coach, you have to bring Lipscomb home this weekend. You have a big matchup. I think they're currently 3rd, but there's a 3-way tie for 2nd right now with Lipscomb. So just talk to us about this weekend.
Yeah, Lipscomb, always a tough matchup for us. So it's just to beat them in a series, we're going to have to play really well over the weekend, and that doesn't change regardless of the opponent in our league this year. And you can still look at the standings. The parity is such where any weekend things can shuffle.
Right.
And just like this past weekend, we were able to gain some ground on some teams. It's other teams have the chance to do that. So we got to stay the course on our end, take care of our business. But ideally, is you can keep pulling away from the pack a little bit. But it's jammed up pretty good right now, and it's any 72-hour stretch, things can shake up quite a bit now.
Right.
Coach, we'll wrap up with this. You guys already played Lipscomb once this season. What kind of do you take away from that series and to change and to fix come
Sure.
series number 2?
The Lipscomb the compliment to them, I feel like their lineup has depth. It's one of those lineups you don't really know where you're at in their order. So it's just understanding, like, you can't really have just because it's 7, 8, 9, you can't be like, oh, it's the bottom. Like, you still have to stay in attack mode on the mound. And I feel like they have competitive at-bats 1 through 9 and even guys off the bench. So I think from that standpoint, it's a little different of maybe a really good middle of the order, but it drops off. I think they have really good depth in their lineup. And we know to keep up with them, we're going to have to continue to score. Like, they will score some runs this weekend. They're hitting close to 300 in conference play, so we're going to have to score runs to keep up with them, and that's no mystery. And I think it's just kind of resetting, and don't take anything for granted and just attack. It starts with Friday. We have to be in attack mode on Friday, and then when Friday's done, we turn the page and get on to Saturday.
Well, awesome. That was Around the Diamond. I'm Chase Glover. That's Grant Wakefield, and this is head baseball coach Jad Pragniak. We'll talk to you in just a moment.
We welcome you back to Around the Diamond. Grant Wakefield, Chase Glover, and we're joined now by Laura Lee Wheeler, the right fielder for the UNA softball team. And Laura Lee, thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
So from Sulligent, Alabama, Laura Lee, come in. You guys sit first in the gold division as well. Big weekend coming up against Austin Peay. What's kind of been clicking for this team this season?
I definitely think our team chemistry. I know we harp on that a lot, but I really do think that we're together this year and like we feed off of each other very well. So like when one person gets going, we're all going to get going. And I think that this weekend we're really going to come back to that. We've struggled a little bit, but I really think this weekend is our weekend. I don't think it is. It is going to be our weekend. And I'm really excited to see how we come back and click together and how we continue to just win.
Yeah, and over the past 2 weeks, you guys have had midweek games, and typically Coach Cozart and the softball team don't like midweeks this late in the season. You focus more on conference play. So what have you guys taken from the past 2 midweeks?
I think we've really used it to work on specific things as getting better. Tennessee Tech, we worked on really focusing on our swings, like mechanical-wise, and like really trying to get better by using their pitching as like reps. And then at Ole Miss, we just really worked on just trying to win, keeping a sane mindset and not overthinking things, keeping things simple and just doing what we got to do. And we fell short, but we got really hot in the 7th inning, which is going to carry over to this weekend.
And I'll ask that as well. You guys had the tying run at the plate against Ole Miss in that 7th inning. You guys were very close. What does that late surge kind of motivate you guys when you get back to conference play?
I think using the 7th inning at Ole Miss is going to carry over this weekend, and it's going to keep us hype. I think that it'll I don't know how to say it. It'll take over this weekend and give us more motivation to finish, because we couldn't finish against Ole Miss, but I think that it's going to give us the finish we've been wanting.
Right.
And let's talk offensively for you. You're hitting .358 on the season, a great season for you. What's been clicking, not just for you, but for the offense as a whole?
I think seeing the ball, keeping things simple, and just really passing the bat. I think we not making it bigger than it has to be. I think just doing our job and then passing the bat to the next person and do one base at a time.
And I'll take you back to this past weekend. You went up to Eastern Kentucky. It was a hard-fought series. I know it's probably not something that's easily touched on, but what do you guys take away from a 1-2 battle like that and finishing out conference play?
I think going on a win streak that we were on and then getting punched like that, I think it's very hard, and I think we took it serious that we we got to pick it up. And I think sometimes that's good, and I think that we're going to feed off of that this weekend and really be we've got to step up, and I really think Austin Peay has it coming for them.
Right.
So lots of hitters up and down that lineup. I'm just looking at the stat sheet right now. Briley Dover, Holly Merritt, you, Bailey Rouse. What's it like to have people like that in front of you or behind you in the lineup that, anytime y'all come up, it can be a big moment?
Yes, I am very confident in all of our hitting. I'm very confident hitting behind Briley, hitting behind Bailey, and I think we feed off of each other very well. So once one person gets it, the next person feeds off of that, and I think we trust each other enough to just get on base, and the next person is going to get the job done by moving us over.
Yeah, and I've got to ask, as powerful of hitters as you guys are as a group, how does that really help your pitching staff to just go out and just put down zeros on the scoreboard?
I think we trust each other very well, and I think that as hitters, we trust our pitchers, and I think that if we can get the job done, we're going to trust our pitchers to get the job done, and they can be more relaxed on the mound and be like, oh, my hitters are going to help me out here, and then let their defense work, and we're going to get it done for them.
Right.
And let's talk about the pitching staff more. You've got Liv. Both Simon sisters are back. Katie and Emily are back, but Riley Tittle, Kaylee Snyder had a great outing last night at Ole Miss as well. What's it like as an offense knowing that you have those pitchers in the circle?
It gives you a little bit of confidence knowing that they're going to do the job, and they're going to do the job best of their ability, and we can put up runs late in the game knowing they're going to hold us in the game. And I think that's sometimes it takes us later in the game to get going as hitters, and I think our pitchers do a very good job of keeping us held down until our bats can get hot.
And I don't know the exact statistics. I needed to ask Mike Ezekiel a little bit more before we hopped on together. But a few weeks ago, you had, I believe, 2 or 3 walk-offs in the same week or something like that. Just talk to us when you step up to the plate in those moments, what just kind of goes through your head?
In both of those situations, there was 2 outs, and we were down by 1 bases. Briley and Given both were on base, and I just stepped up to the plate and was like, I'm going to swing as hard as I can and let my swing do the rest, and then not try to do too much because I trusted who was behind me in the lineup. And then I went up there swinging as hard as I could, and they both just went over.
Now, do you think about those a lot of the times when you're stepping up as I could potentially walk this off, or you're just sitting there I'm just going to have the best at bat I can have?
I think I'm just going to have the best at bat I can have because I don't want to put too much pressure on myself and be like, I need to walk this off. And so I just think about just swing as hard as you can and do the best you can, and the best you can is like let my swing do the rest.
Sorry, and I'll take one more away from you
Go
Grant,
ahead.
here. But what's the feeling like that after a game? I've never personally walked off. I'm a washed like baseball high school athlete, so I haven't done anything like this as remarkable as you. So what is that feeling like after a walk off with the team?
It feels amazing. Every time it brings tears to my eyes just seeing how excited my teammates get for me, and we're all best friends, and I'm like, wow, like they're all so excited for me, and I'm like, I've fulfilled the job, I guess, and
Right.
it's just like they're so excited for me. I've done what I'm supposed to do. I don't know. It just brings tears to my eyes every time. It just makes me so happy.
That's awesome.
And what does it speak? You've had a couple of walk-offs. Bradley Dover had a walk-off. What's it speak? You guys can be down. Me and Mike were saying it on the radio broadcast last night. But if you guys get down, there's a chance you guys can come back. What's it like speaking to the resiliency of the team to be in close ball games like that and have a chance to win it down the stretch?
I think we have such fight in each of us that we don't want to lose, and we're like, we're going to get the job done. And I think that comes back to us trusting each other so much that we're like, we trust each other to get the job done, and then we're going to pass the bat. And I think just really dialing in later in the game, like especially we've done it a lot in the 7th inning, just really dialing in that inning and trusting our swing and trusting each other, and that's really what's got us through that.
Now, you were a part of this team last year. You're a part of it this year, of course, and you guys are sitting in the first, second ranks of the Gold Division. What's the difference from last year's team to this year's team?
Definitely our team chemistry. I know we harp on that a lot, but we are so close this year, and I really think that plays a role in the field.
That's right.
We trust each other more. We're selfish this year. I feel like each person wants to do it for their teammate more than they want to do it for themselves, and we trust each person in the lineup, and we trust each person that's in the dugout. Like, we just trust everyone so much this year that, like, we're like, oh, if I mess up, like, oh, I trust the person behind me to get the job done. And I think that plays a huge role in how we're performing this year, because if I know my teammates got my back, if I can't get the job done, my teammate's going to get it done.
Right.
All right, and Laura Lee, we'll wrap up with this big weekend with Austin Peay coming up. What's it going to take to get a series win?
I think just keeping it simple. I think just not trying to make it bigger than it has to be, and just doing what we know how to do, hit the ball, pitch strikes, let our defense work, and I think just really dialing in on hitting our pitches at the plate, not trying to overdo it, and keeping a positive mindset for sure, especially coming off the games we've had. And I think just leaving that in the past and looking at this as a clean slate, coming in with a clear mind, thinking that we can do this.
Well, Laura Lee, we appreciate the time and best of luck this weekend.
Thank you.
That's Laura Lee Wheeler, right fielder for the UNA softball team. When we come back, we'll talk to assistant coach and hitting coach Greg Larnard here on Around the Diamond. We welcome you back to Around the Diamond. Grant Wakefield, Chase Glover once again here with you. We're joined now by UNA softball assistant coach and hitting coach Greg Larnard. And, Coach, we appreciate you joining us.
Hey, thanks for having me. I love doing this stuff. I'm a broadcaster at heart, so I was happy when Coach Cozart asked me to come and join you guys.
Yeah, Coach Cozart not able to be with us today. And, Greg, you joined us on a few ESPN Plus broadcasts over this spring as well for some baseball. We appreciate you joining us today. But let's dive right into it. You guys coming off a bit of a tough stretch. Dropped 3 up in Richmond against EKU last week, and the midweek loss last night. But still a lot of softball left to be played. What's kind of the message around the team?
Yeah, it's been a little tough stretch. This is the first time we're really facing this level of adversity where we've had a couple of losses. We got swept in a series, and obviously you never want to get swept in a series. But the message is that, hey, everything's still right out in front of us. We're 10-5. When we went into that series against EKU, we were 10-2. Kind of thought, all right, we have a little margin for error here. Now we've just used up our margin for error. Now we've got EKU and we've got Central Arkansas right there at the top with us in the gold bracket, gold division. And then Austin Peay's not too far behind us, so like we have to stay on top of things and just finding a way to kind of right the ship, get back to work, kind of work on some of the things that we feel like we really need to work on, specifically as hitters. I've been working a lot with them. Coach Hawkins has been doing a good job with the pitchers, kind of really honing in on some specific things with them as well, which I'm sure we'll talk about. But the message is, stay the course. We have to find our spark again. We lost it a little bit in that Ole Miss game for about 6 innings, and then you were there. We found it in the 7th inning.
Right.
So that was something that I feel like we can take moving forward and hopefully roll into this weekend.
Yeah, you were talking about how you guys have worked on some things as of late going forward. Yesterday in the midweek matchup against Ole Miss, what did you guys think that you worked on really well against that level of competition?
Well, there wasn't a lot of good things for the first 6 innings, I'll be honest with you guys. But one big thing was, in the middle of our order has struggled a little bit over this tough stretch that we've had. And I was really proud of Holly Merritt, the way that she kind of came back, and she's been really struggling a lot lately. And we've been really working on with her to keep her swing shorter. She was getting up and under the ball a little bit, taking too big of swings. And I always try to preach to her, take your singles. When you have an opportunity, take your singles. You don't have to hit a home run every single time.
Right.
Hit line drives, and she hit I think 2 or 3 line drives, had 3 hits yesterday. So that was great. And I was really proud of her. And again, we've started to find that spark a little bit where we were patient in the box enough where we worked some walks against their pitcher who was a little erratic there at the end. Given Hammonds came up with a big hit. It's really finding a way to come up in big moments and step up to the plate. Like you guys just talked to Laura Lee, and she's done that multiple times. Bradley Dover's done that a bunch this year. Bailey Rouse has had some big hits for us. Holly, obviously, as well. There's a lot of depth to this lineup when we're going right, but we're just trying to put it all together at the same time. I feel like we haven't been all together at the same time for a little while now, so we're working to kind of get back to that.
Right.
And Holly 3 for 3 with 3 singles last night, so she did have a very good game against Ole Miss. But your first season here, you come in. What's kind of been your message to the hitters from the time you've gotten here to where we are today?
Be relentless. That's the biggest thing for me is I just want my hitters to go up there and be relentless. Selectively aggressive is what I like to say, and we talk about in a specific count finding our pitch and what we want to hit in specific counts. And again, you get 2-0, you get 3-1. Those are the ones, hey, I'm looking for a pitch and I want to drive it. That's a pitch that I can do damage on. And being aggressive early in the count is something that we've talked a lot about that I don't think we're doing a great job of right now, and that's something that we're going to continue to work on in just trying to allow these hitters the freedom to go up there and just take hacks. That's the big thing. Like, I think a lot of the times we get a little too technical with it. We think about, hey, what the pitcher is throwing and what we're going to see. A lot of times it's just as easy as go up there and hit. And these are really good hitters.
Right.
Much better. I know you were joking with Laura Lee as well, but like I wasn't a great, I was a Division III player as well, and sometimes we just got to go up there. These girls are so good that trust their swing, trust the process, trust their training, and we just go up there and sometimes you just got to take hacks. And that's the biggest thing. And having good team at-bats as well. Again, it's not about them. It's about the team. Individually, it's always about all of them. But but we have to get into this mindset where we're trying to have good team at-bats. We have an opportunity maybe to lay a bunt down. We get a runner over, get a runner in, just playing that small ball manufacture run sometimes because we do have the power to hit a lot of home runs, but sometimes those home runs aren't always going to be there.
Yeah.
And we have to learn that, hey, if it's not there, we have to shorten our swing a little bit, make some good solid contact, take our singles, as I just said with Holly, hit the ball in the gap, just hit the ball hard. Like my big thing, as I mentioned, being relentless, but my big thing also is making good contact. It's not about the outcome, it's about the process, and it's about going in there, and if you have a quality at bat, you hit the ball hard, you can't go up there and say, like, I want to get a hit. That's an unattainable goal to me. You can go up there and say, I want to hit the ball hard, I want to swing at a good pitch. To me, that's attainable. To me, that's what I've tried to preach to them is it's not always about getting hits. It's about the contact that you're making. It's the quality at bats. It's the team at bats. So that's one big thing or a couple big things that I really have impressioned upon our hitters.
And Grant kind of alluded to it. This is your first season with the team. You come from Chattanooga last year. What have you enjoyed so far with the UNA softball team and the staff as well?
Really just the whole team and the whole just community has been great. You know, I love Chattanooga. I'm not going to sugarcoat that, but being in Florence is amazing. I've run into a lot of really good people. Our girls are awesome. I love Coach Kozar, and I love Whitney Hawkins for Whitney was the one who found me and brought me here at a camp over the summer in Birmingham, which was really cool. And Cozy's just been great to me ever since I've been here. She's given me a lot of responsibility, which is what I was looking for in a paid assistant role. I'm over there at first base. She allows me to call the offensive plays and stuff like that, which you don't really see a lot from a first base coach. Generally, the third base coach is always the one who calls it.
Right.
And so I love that she's trusted me enough with our hitters and our offense to be able to call those things. And then, again, the girls just ever since I've gotten here, they've made me feel so welcome. Every step of the way, they've been fantastic. Just really good people. Women of faith, which I really love as well. That's something that's big for me and also very big for them. And I'll be honest, I just love being around them. I love being around the facility. I try to take in every single moment that I can. And, you just realize year to year, you're never going to have the same group of girls.
Right.
It's a different team every single year. And I know that's with Major League Baseball, professional softball, anything like that. But just trying to take in every moment that I can. I know we got about a month or so left, but I just really love being around this group and love being around this team.
And let's talk for a minute. We talked with Laura Lee. She mentioned the chemistry of the team a lot. What makes the chemistry of this team so good, and how can that lead to success on the field that you guys are seeing?
So with the chemistry, it just seems like, and I think I heard her talk a little bit about it. I know she didn't want me to watch her, so I was kind of talking to Mike and Jad a little bit off the air, but it's really about pulling for each other and wanting everybody to do well, and knowing that, like, hey, like if I root for my teammate and she does well, we're gonna have a good, obviously, team success, and that's what it's all about. And I think that's where we are right now. It's team over me kind of thing, where everybody is saying, hey, we have an opportunity here to be very special. We have a really special group. That's something that I felt from the moment that I got here and got around these girls, was that we had a really special group. And I tried to plant the seed with them early in the fall of like, hey, like we're going to be 2026 ASUN champions.
Yeah.
Like just putting that in their mind of like, this is the expectation. This is the standard that we want to create, the culture that we want to create. Everybody is super nice to each other and they get along well. And again, it's everybody's rooting for each other. And I think this group just has a lot of fun with each other just when they're around. And it's just, again, I think one of the biggest things from, again, I wasn't here in the years past, but it seems like they do a lot of things together, which I don't know if that was the case in the past all the time, but they love hanging out with each other. They go to different sporting events with each other. There's a big group that always goes to the baseball game. I went to the soccer game, in the fall, and I know a lot of them love to go to the football game. So it's a really good group, and they love to just stick together and be together. And I think that is what has led to them having so much success on the field, because they've really enjoyed being around each other off the field.
Yeah, the team's batting average has elevated from last year to this year. What do you think you and Coach Hawkins have brought to the team implementing-wise with the new staff this year?
Oh, man. Well, to me, it's the approach. And last year I saw that we had a lot more strikeouts than we had walks. And I said, I want to fix that. I want us to have a better approach at the plate where we're, again, I use the word selectively aggressive. Again, we know what we want to hit in the zone, and we're attacking that. And if it's a pitcher's pitch on a 2-0 pitch, not just swinging because it's a strike,
right.
Because, again, if it's a ball in the outside corner that I can get to, but I can't drive it, why bother swinging at it?
Right.
I'm going to take that pitch, and I'm going to hopefully see if I can get something better. So that's just been really the mindset. I've been working with baseball players since I was, about 18 years old, and I'm 36 right now. And I've learned from a really good mentor of mine, Joe Iannucci in Connecticut. We ran a travel baseball organization together. He really was the one who taught me everything I know about the mechanics of the swing. So I feel like I'm really good at being able to watch a girl swing and say, okay, this is what's wrong or this what's going on. And we look at the video, we can slow things down. I'll video them and we can kind of slow things down together. We get on the same page. And these girls are so smart and they're so talented that they can understand, like, okay, I see what I'm doing wrong now and here's how we correct it. And I'm always questioning them of like, okay, you took a bad swing. What went wrong? Why did you take a bad swing? Can you feel it? I want you to tell me. It's like I always use the analogy that when we're in school, if a teacher just gives you the answer to things, are you going to get better? Are you going to learn?
Yeah.
Yep.
No, right? So I'm always constantly asking them questions because I want them to think about their swing. If they take a bad swing, what went wrong? If I take a good swing, what went right, and how do I replicate it?
Yeah.
So those are the things that I feel like I've been able to bring just from a hitting perspective, and Coach Kozar helps me out a lot with that as well. She's constantly on them as well, trying to just have them learn about their swings and, again, continually questioning them so they get better and they understand more.
Right.
And let's talk pitching for a second. You guys have a phenomenal pitching staff. Up and down, you have 5 pitchers that really can go out and give you good innings all the time. But what's it like to know as a hitting coach that when the lineup goes out there, they have a good pitching staff behind them, and then vice versa? What's it like for the pitching staff to know they have a good lineup behind them as well?
It's. I'll just speak from the hitting perspective because, as you guys know, I'm a hitting guy. I can't tell you much about the pitching, the softball pitching. I can do baseball pitching, but softball pitching is a little above my pay grade. So I let Coach Hawkins and Coach Kozart deal with that a lot of the times. But I love our group of pitchers. They're just such good girls. I know you mentioned 5, but Haley Westhoven is one of the pitchers as well. She's a freshman. She hasn't pitched at all this year, but just another fantastic person. I know she hasn't, again, gotten the opportunity, but a really good person. And it's been great for a hitting coach to see the pitchers go out there and just execute the way that they've executed. It's so good for us because, as you guys both know, hitting's hard. Hitting is going to kind of come and go. As much talent as we have personally within our lineup, as you've seen over the last 4 games, sometimes it's just not there as consistently as we want. And I feel like even when we were winning against Lipscomb specifically, we did really well against Bellarmine, and then we came back against Lipscomb. And even in Tennessee Tech, we didn't hit the cover off the ball. But the pitchers really had our backs, and they were able to kind of lock things down for us. And I'm sure we'll get to it, but, I mean, this past weekend at EKU, we really didn't have a whole lot working for us from pitching, fielding, or hitting. And it was really mostly hitting and defense that really let us down. The pitching was fantastic. And even last night at Ole Miss, they did great. Emily Simon, having her back has been a huge boost to our rotation and what we can do as she continues to gain strength in her arm. But it makes my job, I feel like, I don't want to say easier, but with as good as our pitchers are, it's like, okay, now I have to make sure, I want to try to make sure our hitters are up to that standard as well, and we can have the pitchers back maybe when they don't have the best game or they're not as sharp as they are, or the defense struggles a little bit. Can we help make up for that in the offensive perspective? And we haven't done that lately, but I'm hoping over these last 3 weekends of conference play, we will be able to do that again.
Yeah, and you mentioned the EKU series, so we'll back up to it a little bit. Laura Lee described it as a punch in the mouth. What was kind of the message after that series for the team with everything right in front of you?
It was, hey, we just got, like she said, we got punched in the mouth. We got knocked down. I said to them after the game, we got knocked down. It's up to you. How are you going to respond? Are you going to get up off the mat, or are you going to allow this sweep and this series loss to define the rest of your season? Because it can really go one of 2 ways for us right now. It can go, hey, we can use this as a jumping off point that, hey, we hate losing. We hate this feeling of being swept, and we never want to feel this again. Or we can just sort of, well, it's okay. We tried our best, and it just didn't really work out for us. And you know, we kind of have that mindset going into the rest of the conference play, and we could end up having not a really good conference record from where we started at 10-2. This team is much better than that. I wouldn't expect them to do that. So, yeah, the EKU series was tough, I'll be honest. And, the message was get up off the mat. We've been punched in the face. We have to get up, and we have to prove that, hey, we are who we want to be. And again, this is a really special group, and I've seen fight from them. You guys talked about the walk-offs, and I kind of joked with Kozart that we, at times, are sort of the cardiac kids a little bit, that we wait till the last minute to do something special. And I know you talked to Laura about it as well. Bradley Dover had an opportunity yesterday with the bases loaded and 2 outs, tying run at the plate. She smoked the ball right at the third baseman. Again, great barrel. We're working on some things with her to kind of keep her hands inside the ball a little bit more. But yeah, we just can't let that EKU series define who we are as a team.
Right.
All right, coming up, the response from that EKU series, the Austin Peay this weekend. What's the outlook of the Govs, and what's it going to take to respond in the right way?
They are an extremely scrappy team. It was a battle when we were up there a couple weeks ago at Austin Peay in Clarksville, I think it is. Yeah, it was a battle. I expect nothing less from them. They're a really good, gritty team, and if you're not ready to play, they're going to beat you. And they have a really good pitcher in Alana Jones, who ate us up the last time. So we're going to be more prepared for her this time. They've got some really good hitters in their lineup, so our pitchers have to make sure we hit our spots. I think that's something that Coach Hawkins has talked a lot about with our pitching staff, is making sure we don't walk people. And when we call a pitch, especially to a power hitter, we've had trouble with walks and home runs lately with the pitching staff, and she's worked really hard with them to, hey, let's eliminate the walks and let's not make a bad pitch. Are they going to happen? Sometimes they are. But if we make a bad pitch, her big thing is, let's say it's a rise out or something like that. We can't miss that ball over the plate. We have to miss it further out. That
Right.
way they can't do damage. So that's something that she's been working a lot with them. But the Govs are a really good squad. They're really well coached. I know a couple of their coaches, and they're going to come out and they're going to be ready to play, so we have to as well.
Now, to kind of close it out, I've got to get off softball just a tad and ask, you're used to the mic. You've been working with ESPN a little bit, as Grant alluded to at the beginning. But how about, you're talking about team chemistry, how about you and Given Hammonds working as a 1-2 punch duo on ESPN broadcast this
Man,
spring?
it's been so cool. It's such a unique opportunity. From the first time I met her and I got introduced to the team and she knew I had the broadcasting background, she came right up to me and was like, hey, Coach G, like, I'm in broadcasting as well. I really want to do this when I graduate. You know, I would love to kind of like talk to you a little bit more about what I do, and maybe you can help me and give me some advice on some things. And I was talking to somebody about it. I think it was my barber this morning when I was getting my haircut. We were talking
I
about.
thought it was a fresh cut.
I
this
did.
morning.
It was just. I mean, it worked out so well. I'd scheduled this like a week ago, and then Cozy texted me at 10:30 and was like, "Hey, you want to come do this interview?" I was like, "I just got my haircut. This is perfect."
Yeah.
So instantly camera ready. Otherwise, it would probably have just been a hat or something like that. If I'm being honest, like you.
That's exactly what it is right now.
But no, I was talking to my barber and I said, man, it's just been so special to be able to be on a broadcast with one of my players and be with Ben, be with you, Grant, one time. It was just so cool. I love broadcasting baseball. It's obviously it's the sport I know the best along with softball, and just being able to go on there and talk and then have Given be the sideline reporter and just be able to help her a little bit, like along her journey as well. Again, teacher at heart, so it's really cool for me, and I love being able to like help her in softball and also try to help her in broadcasting as well, because it was something that I spent the better part of 12 to 15 years doing, whether it be doing shows in New York City, Lafayette, Louisiana, Chattanooga, Tennessee. I run a podcast still. I do, every week with my boys from Chattanooga still. Right. So it's just like a really cool opportunity. In the last broadcast that we did, she got on the mic a little bit more, and it was like kind of like a 3-person booth, which was cool. And got to hear her perspective and ask her some questions. And she's just so good. She's a superstar. I'm really looking forward to seeing what she does after college, and I hope she always kind of comes back and leans on me and kind of asks for advice. And I'm going to look forward to following her career every step of the way after this.
Right.
Well, Greg, we appreciate the time. We appreciate you hopping on with us here on ESPN Plus, all of that, and best of luck to you guys on Saturday with Austin Peay.
Thank you, boys. I really appreciate you having me. This was fun. I hope we get a chance to do it again.
Absolutely. We enjoyed it. So that'll do it for Around the Diamond. For Chase Glover, Greg Larnard, and all of our guests today, I'm Grant Wakefield. Have a great day, and Roar Lions.